Welcome to this course on the T non-immigrant status, known as the TVisa. This visa offers protection and immigration relief to individuals who are victims of severe forms of human trafficking and who are willing to assist in the investigation or prosecution of those crimes. In this course, we will cover the legal foundation of the TVisa, who qualifies, what the requirements are, what documents are needed, and how to file a complete application with USCIS. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the TVisa legal framework. The TVisa was created under the Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000 and is codified in INA Section 101A-15-T. The implementing regulations are found at 8 CFR Section 214.11. It is a humanitarian form of immigration relief that supports law enforcement in investigating human trafficking while helping victims find safety and stability in the U.S. A TVisa grants temporary legal status to victims of human trafficking who are present in the U.S. as a result of trafficking and who comply with reasonable requests for assistance in investigating or prosecuting the traffickers. It provides protection from deportation, work authorization, and a path to lawful permanent residence after 3 years or upon the completion of an investigation or prosecution. To qualify for a TVisa, an applicant must demonstrate that they are a victim of a severe form of human trafficking. This includes sex trafficking, which involves force, fraud, or coercion to make someone engage in commercial sex acts, or labor trafficking, where force, fraud, or coercion is used to recruit, harbor, transport, or obtain a person for labor or services. The applicant must be physically present in the United States, American Samoa, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, or at a port of entry as a result of trafficking. They must have complied with reasonable requests for assistance in a trafficking investigation or prosecution, unless they are under 18 or unable to cooperate due to trauma. Additionally, they must show that they would suffer extreme hardship involving unusual and severe harm if removed from the U.S. Finally, the applicant must be admissible or obtain a waiver of inadmissibility through Form I-192. The TVisa application must include credible evidence showing that the applicant was a victim of trafficking and that this situation led them to enter or remain in the United States. It also needs to demonstrate that the applicant has cooperated with law enforcement in the investigation or prosecution of the trafficking or explain why they were unable to do so. Finally, the application must show that the applicant would suffer extreme hardship if they were removed from the U.S. Acceptable supporting evidence for a TVisa can include law enforcement reports, medical or mental health records, and sworn statements from the victim, social workers, or other witnesses. It may also involve letters from shelters, service providers, or religious organizations, as well as affidavits or declarations from the applicant and other third parties familiar with the case. The TVisa application requires several forms and documents. These include Form I-914, the main application for T non-immigrant status, and optionally but strongly recommended, Form I-914 Supplement B, which is a declaration from law enforcement or another authority confirming the applicant's cooperation. A personal declaration is also needed, providing a detailed account of the trafficking experience, the harm suffered, and any cooperation with authorities. Form I-192 must be included if the applicant is inadmissible. Additionally, Supplement A should be submitted for any qualifying family members, such as a spouse, children, parents, or siblings, depending on their age and the harm they experienced. The TVisa filing process involves several important steps. First, gather all necessary evidence and personal declarations to build a strong case that clearly demonstrates the trafficking experience and meets all eligibility requirements. Then complete Form I-914 along with any relevant supplements, being thorough and honest, especially in the personal declaration. Once everything is ready, mail the application to USCIS, making sure to check uscis.gov for the most up-to-date mailing address. After the application is received, USCIS will schedule a biometrics appointment for fingerprinting. During the review process, they may issue a request for evidence if more documentation is needed. If the application is approved, the applicant will receive T non-immigrant status, which is valid for 4 years and includes the possibility to apply for a green card after 3 years or once the trafficking investigation is complete. Certain family members of a TVisa applicant may also be eligible to receive T non-immigrant status. If the principal applicant is under 21, they can apply on behalf of their spouse, children, parents, and unmarried siblings under the age of 18. If the principal is 21 or older, only their spouse and children may qualify. To include eligible family members, you must submit a separate Form I-914 Supplement A for each one. TVisa applicants may be eligible for work authorization even while their application is still pending. Here's how work authorization works. If the TVisa is approved, the applicant automatically receives work authorization for the same period as their T status, usually 4 years, without needing to file a separate Form I-765. However, if the applicant wishes to work while the application is still pending, they can file Form I-765 under Category C-25 together with Form I-914. In such cases, USCIS may grant interim work authorization if the application is considered complete and credible. It's important to note that work authorization during the pending period is discretionary and depends on USCIS's evaluation of the applicant's eligibility and the strength of their claim. One important factor that affects processing times is whether a visa category has an annual cap. There is no annual cap for principal T visa applicants, unlike the U visa, which is limited to 10,000 principals per year and often results in long waiting lists. While the T visa does have a cap of 5,000 per year for derivative family members such as spouses, children, parents, and siblings, this cap does not apply to the main applicant. As a result, T visa cases are not placed on a waiting list and can be reviewed as soon as USCIS is able to process them. Even though there's no quota backlog for T visas, processing times can still average between 18 to 24 months. Several factors affect how long a case takes, including USCIS's current workload, the completeness and strength of the initial application, whether any requests for evidence are issued, and the time needed for background checks and biometrics. To stay updated, you can check the current processing times on the USCIS website by looking up Form I-914 under the Vermont Service Center. Let me give you a quick comparison between the T visa and the U visa. Before approval, the T visa applicant can apply for work authorization by filing Form I-765 under Category C-25. The U visa applicant can also apply for work authorization after their biometrics appointment using Form I-765 under Category C-14. Both visas allow work authorization after approval automatically, which is great. When it comes to annual caps, the big difference is that the T visa has no cap for principal applicants, while the U visa is limited to 10,000 principal visas per year. This cap on the U visa often causes long waiting times, sometimes over 5 years. In contrast, the T visa processing time generally ranges from about 18 to 24 months, so it tends to be faster. To sum up, the T visa is designed for victims of severe human trafficking who are in the U.S. because of their trafficking situation. To qualify, applicants must provide proof of the trafficking, show that they are present in the U.S. due to that trafficking, demonstrate cooperation with law enforcement unless excused, and provide evidence of the hardship they would face if removed. The visa offers work authorization, protection from removal, and a pathway to permanent residency. Additionally, certain family members may also be eligible to receive derivative status. Here's a bonus tip for working with T visa applicants. Many of these individuals have experienced significant trauma, which can make it hard for them to recall or share their stories. It's important to be patient, empathetic, and trauma-informed throughout the interview and documentation process. Remember, a carefully written personal declaration can often be the key to building a strong and successful case. Therefore, assisting the victim in drafting the personal statement is essential, as it helps organize the timeline, clarify important details, and ensure consistency by cross-checking facts with other supporting evidence. This wraps up this lesson on T visa. Thank you for watching.